have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States.
And everything that we go through with this administration, I'm going to keep saying this. Kamala was right. You can disagree if you want, but I'm going to say it again. Kamala was right.
Target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American military to go after American citizens. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Nonpartisan election officials who refuse to cheat by finding a few extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of following him. It is for reasons like these that General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Donald Trump's top general, has called Trump, and I quote, fascist to the core. And it is clear Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged and will stop at nothing to claim unchecked power for himself.
Had we just elected the black lady with the silk press, had we just elected Big Sister General, had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, had we just elected Madam the wheels on the bus go round and round, we would not be at war with Iran right now. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Joshua, why are you screaming? Joshua, how many times you gonna say this? I'm gonna keep saying it until it finally clicks. Because folks, this was an open book test. Not only was this an open book test, the professor was at the board giving the answers and we failed. And now we have 4 dead Americans as a result. We have F-15 fighter jets being shot out of the sky by friendly fire. Had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, folks would have money to purchase their first home. The American people would have quality health care. We would not be at war with Iran, spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money that has not been approved by Congress to fund this war. So I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep screaming it until the American people finally understand. If you could have just set your racism and your sexism aside and voted for Kamala Harris, we would be in a better position today.
She really did win. I'm going to say that over and over again. Kamala was right. People did not listen. The book was open, and you skipped through everything that she said and still decided to go the other way.
When are we going to accept that Kamala Harris was always right, no matter how you feel about her, no matter how you feel about her being a vice president, no matter how you feel about her morality, her skill set, no matter how you feel about her as a person? Kamala Harris was always right, and every step that Donald Trump has taken, she not only predicted, she said it would happen, and she gave us a play-by-play on the other options in case he wouldn't even do that one.
But can somebody come on this app and tell me that Kamala Harris didn't predict all of the shit that's going on right now? Can you tell me honestly that that woman did not warn us that where we are right now was where we were going to be if we elected Donald Trump? The jobs numbers just came out. 22,000 jobs added. 360 million people. We added 22,000 jobs. That's even softer than soft. Like, we are headed for a recession. The tariffs are crippling us. We are on the brink of war with several countries. Donald Trump and the Epstein list are raging in the news. Can you tell me what Kamala Harris was wrong about. All you people who didn't want a strong black lady in office, God damn it. Like, I don't know what else to say. You wanted to vote against Kamala Harris because she was what? Black? Because she was what? A woman? And now we're left with an old, wrinkled orange bag of garbage who is sinking this country into an ever-loving recession. Like, shit, the prices are just going up and up and up. So many people wanted to bitch about prices and say, oh, I don't like Biden because of the prices. I'm voting for Trump. What prices have gone down? Because I'm looking at the prices of meat, I'm looking at the prices of coffee, I'm looking at the prices of everything, and they have skyrocketed. American businesses are suffering because of tariffs. People can't afford to buy homes, childcare, astronomical. I don't understand what you could tell me right now that has been better, because Donald Trump is now our president and Kamala Harris warned us of every single thing. So if you voted for Kamala Harris, thank you. If you voted for Donald Trump.
Another interesting phenomenon is that 92% of black women who voted, 85% of black men who voted for Harris. Also, the largest percentage of white people, college-educated white people, voted the same way. And that is because nobody knows this kind of white dude like black people. We didn't go to school to do it. We didn't have classes to do it. We watched them, and we had grandfathers and fathers and mothers who watched them. This is not new. This is retro. This is all something we've seen before. Different packages, different technology. How is it that black people that had the same voting structure as college-educated white dude? How is it that a dude that went to Harvard voted the same way as a dude who lived on Harvard? Is it because there is no greater expert on white dudes like this than black people? And not because we went to school, like I said earlier. It's because we've seen them. We saw history. College-educated white people learned it. And the best indicator of what somebody will do is what they have done. That's history. That's what they have done.
Kamala Harris attended Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral yesterday on Friday, March 6th. And when she took to the stage and got on that mic, she says, now I'm normally not a person that say, I told you so.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming.
In other words, like she said, she predicted that all of this, what is going on today, it would happen. So are y'all mad because she was right? I know there will probably be some haters and some crazy folks that get in this comment section of this video. Baby, say what you want to say. Think what you want to think. But like she said, or we can say it for her, she told you so, and you didn't listen. So yeah, everything that she said, I know it's hard for you to admit it, but she was right.
Iran, if Kamala Harris was president. We would still be friends with Canada if Kamala Harris was president. Greenland would not have armed itself against us if Kamala Harris was president. We would not currently have a measles outbreak if Kamala Harris was president. Military strike plans would not have been leaked to the press if Kamala Harris was president. The files would not have been illegally redacted if Kamala Harris was president. Hundreds of thousands of African babies would not be dying of AIDS if Kamala Harris was president. You would not be paying 10 to 20% more on every single item if Kamala Harris was president. You would not have to worry about the midterm elections being stolen if Kamala Harris was president. You would not need to worry about the 2028 election being stolen if Kamala Harris was president. You would not need to worry about Kamala Harris seeking a third term. Kamala Harris would not have started a crypto scam for millions of dollars if she was the president. Kamala Harris would not have accepted gifts worth millions of dollars if she was the president. Clips of us bombing innocent civilians would not be posted on the White House Twitter if Kamala Harris was president. A podcaster would not be the head of the FBI if Kamala Harris was president. The leader of the Health and Human Services Department would have a medical degree if Kamala Harris was president. There would be no Fox News hosts in the cabinet if Kamala Harris was president. ICE would not be popping protesters in the street if Kamala Harris was president. Elon Musk would not have stolen your data if Kamala Harris was president. The United States would be investing in clean energy if Kamala Harris was president. Donald Trump would be in jail if Kamala Harris was president.
Kamala Harris was right about everything. Russia is giving information to Iran. Russia is giving information to Iran about U.S. warships, aircraft, other assets in the region. U.S. intelligence knows this. Kamala Harris said that these dictators would eat Trump for breakfast or for lunch, whatever. And MAGA laughed at her, and MAGA acted like their God King is this tough businessman who can strike deals with anyone. And Trump has always said Putin is that they have a good relationship, they're buddies, acting like he knows how to control him. No, it's the other way around. Putin knows how to control Trump, and he always has. And when Trump was asked about the U.S., when he was asked about Russia giving information to Iran, his response was, "What a stupid question. What a stupid question." Are we great yet, MAGA? Is this America first?
He does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally. One that will obey his orders even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens. And let's be clear about who he considers to be the enemy from within. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify, in his mind, as the enemy within, like judges, like journalists, like nonpartisan election officials. I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
I would like to propose that any time one of you little maggots opens your mouth and says, "Oh, I didn't vote for this," you must immediately follow it with the phrase, Kamala was right. Because if you didn't vote for this, then she was right, because she told you all this was going to happen. I mean, we all did, but I don't personally need any credit. Let's just give the credit where it's deserved. Kamala was right. So, little maggot, when you open your mouth and say, oh, I didn't vote for this, don't forget to add in that key phrase, Kamala was right. Have the day you voted for.